Welcome into Locked On Now. I'm your host, Kainani Stevens. Selection Sunday right around the corner. Teams around the Big 12 trying to fight it out as they try to get either better positioning or at least qualify for the field of 68. Our Locked On Big 12 hosts are here to recap the day of action from Thursday. We're going to start with the biggest game of the day, which ended Baylor's stay at the conference tournament a little bit early.
The biggest game.
The Oklahoma Sooners picked up the biggest win of the day yesterday by beating the number 3 Baylor Bears as Oklahoma tries to keep its hopes alive for an NCAA tournament bid. Locked On Sooners recaps a huge postseason win.
The Oklahoma Sooners keep their NCAA tournament hopes alive with a 72-67 win over the number 3 ranked team in the country, the Baylor Bears, in the quarterfinals of the Big 12 tournament. This is John Williams, host of the Locked On Sooners podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, led by Jacob Groves, who had a season-high 15 points, 9 rebounds. The Oklahoma Sooners overcame a 6-point halftime deficit and outscored the Baylor Bears by 11 points in the second half. Oklahoma had a fantastic performance. Now, winners of 4 straight will go on to take on the winners of the Texas Tech versus Iowa State game in the late game on Friday evening. For more information on this, make sure you are subscribed to the Locked On Sooners podcast on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Kansas Jayhawks have dominated the Big 12 for a while now. They rolled in their game over West Virginia. Locked On Big 12 gives you all the details from what has become a routine early round victory for the Jayhawks in this tournament.
Hello, everybody. Josh Neighbors here, the host of the Locked On Big 12 podcast with a Locked On Now. Your update is that the Kansas Jayhawks, the number 1 seed in the Big 12 tournament, have defeated the West Virginia Mountaineers, the number 9 seed, by a score 87-63. This was a dominant performance from wire to wire. KU went up 22 in the first half and never looked back. This was the kind of performance that Bill Self and the Jayhawks need. They're trying to secure a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. They got a good effort today from Oshai Agbaji, who led the way for KU with 18 points. Christian Brown had a double-double with 11 and 14. Jalen Wilson added 15. And I like the way Mitch Lightfoot played off the bench. He had 10 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 blocks. Actually outplayed David McCormick. They're trying to get that big rotation solidified. They're trying to get their entire rotation as a whole solidified as they head into the NCAA tournament and the rest of the Big 12 tournament. Interesting wrinkle, Remy Martin played 12 minutes only and scored 4 points. So trying to see how they reassimilate him is going to be very interesting. Their next matchup is also interesting. They've got the TCU Horned Frogs up next. The 5 seed rallied past Texas today. They were down 18 at one point, then took out the number 4 seed Texas Longhorns. TCU will play Kansas in one of the 2 semifinals tomorrow in the Big 12 tournament. Interesting wrinkle. This will be the 3rd time that these 2 teams have met in the last 10 to 11 days. They played twice last week. TCU won the first one in Fort Worth. KU got by them barely by 3 in the rematch 2 days later in Allen Fieldhouse. They'll settle the score tomorrow in the first semifinal game at the Big 12 tournament. For more coverage of the Big 12 tournament, you guys can find me on Twitter at LOBig12. Find me personally at JoshNeighbors_. You guys can find Locked On Big 12 wherever you get your podcasts.
That's all for this edition of Locked On Now. Thank you for making Locked On Now your first listen every single weekday. Now that we're done here, make sure you check out Locked On Big 12 and your team's Locked On podcast. I'm Kainani Stevens. This has been Locked On Now.